This is Anderson Francisco and
Tiffany Francisco.
we're talking from our office here in South Jordan. And let's jump right in. What is the most dangerous thing for our company, Joe Anderson Builders, today? What do you think?
I would say it's people calling for bids or asking, how much is it going to cost to build my house?
Yep, that's where I spend most of my time. The amount of time that we put into giving free bids is ridiculous, and that drives me crazy. I don't know who started this tradition, but it's part of the game. It's part of the market. There is nothing we can do. But that is where the big risk is. I was telling you earlier today, right? Do people walk into a tile store and ask, how much is it going to cost to tile my house?
No.
Or do they walk into a plumbing store and ask how much all the plumbing fixtures are going to cost? Or do they walk into an exterior door and ask how much is the exterior going to cost for my house? Or do they even go to a carpenter and say, hey, how much is the carpentry going to cost for my house? No. Why?
Because the people don't know. I mean, it's one thing if the customer has done their research and they come in and they say to a tile store, here's the square footage that I need of tile. How much is it going to cost? It's completely different than someone coming in and saying, hey, how much is it going to cost? I don't know anything, but I just want to know a price.
Exactly. So first, like even a roofer, you can't call the roofer and say, hey, how much is the roof of my house going to cost, because they need numbers. If you think about the entire process to build a home, what does the excavator need? He needs to know how much dirt he's going to remove. He needs to know the width and the length of the hole he's going to dig. If you think about the concrete guy, he needs to know the square footage of the flat work. He needs to know the linear foot of the footings and foundations. If you think about the framers, he needs to know the amount of lumber, which means he needs to know how tall the walls are going to be, the linear feet of walls, and so on, about 40 trades. And then people call us and ask, how much is my house going to cost? And I understand that people are trying to get a rough number, but they are not. They are, but they are not. Because this is the rough number. You can make a house being built. You can build a house for $180 the square foot here in Utah today. Yep. Yes, you can. What type of home would it be?
Like super small and the cheapest finishings that you can find. The acrylic inserts for tubs and probably Formica countertops. And yeah, just the cheapest, smallest home you can think of.
Exactly. It will be like Home Depot tubs with tub surround. It will be very cheap. And but there are homes in Park City being built at $1,500 this square foot.
Wow.
The difference is ginormous. There are homes being built at a cost of $400,000 in Utah, $300,000 even, and there are homes being built at a cost of $50 million. In many homes, I think the most popular sizes today are between $700,000 to $2 million in cost. Those are the most popular. But back to the initial question, what is the biggest risk that Anderson Builders face today? I feel that it is the amount of time that I spend giving free estimates to people. And here is the other thing. We are not a tiny company anymore, right? We were doing more than 2 million. We're probably going to do 3 million this year, because I'm cautious and because we haven't hired people yet for our office stuff. And we can't rely on word of mouth. When you get to a certain level, you have to run marketing. So we're putting thousands of dollars into marketing every month. We had overhead costs. And you know this because you've been working with us long enough. Tell us some of the overheads that you can think of, especially yesterday after meeting with our CPA.
I mean, the biggest one is the cost of the employees and
Tax withholdings, payroll.
and payroll, and it's which those people that we pay help keep the business running.
Yeah. So we have workers' comp, which is a big number. We have office rent, gas, internet. We got people don't understand that it costs hundreds of dollars a day to stay in business.
It's true.
If the existence of Anderson Builders, actually the existence of any reliable and reputable general contracting company in Utah costs no less than $200 a day. This is a small company. Our overhead is more than that. We have an overhead of, well, I think more than 5,000 for sure, but I want to say 8 to 10,000. So we have a crazy cost on overhead, plus our marketing costs that some will say will fall into the overhead. So we have all those costs that we have to make money for. And then we pay marketing so we can be in front of the potential clients. And then the two risks. The amount of clients that call us asking, how much is my house that I don't know the size or where it's going to be, or no finishings or colors or flooring or size or anything? How much is that going to cost? It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the remodels, I think...
Well, because you spend so much time on the estimate, and then people just are like, oh, it's too expensive, so never mind. Which, I mean, is understandable. People want to get a good deal, right? But I sometimes think that maybe clients don't, or potential clients, don't take into consideration the time that you're putting into the estimate. And that makes it hard.
Yeah. And it is okay. Clients need to be educated. It's okay for them to call us and hey, please, I have no idea how much this is going to cost.
Absolutely.
Can you help us? We understand that. And I don't think that I will ever solve that risk and this problem for the company.
I don't think so either.
There are ways to minimize. And we minimize that based on the remodels that we have already done in the last 10 years. We can give people a ballpark. But unfortunately, there are lots of people are going to be offended by this. But there are lots of cheap people out there. cheap people. And those are the clients that drive me the most nuts. They are not broke. They're cheap. Yeah. Some clients have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars sitting in a bank account.
But they choose not to spend the money.
But they're still shopping for the cheapest contractors. And then you have those clients that are comparing, hey, your bid came in at $253,000 and this other guy came at $241,000. So both of you have already spent a week or 2 months in the project, and who am I going to choose? Oh, that just drives me nuts. But it's part of the game. What can we do?
It is part of the game.
I have the crucifiers who will tell me that I just suck at selling, that I just suck at filtering. Remember what you told me today? That I became too abrupt?
Yes. You did. You used to be able to
connect
sell
with
ice to an Eskimo and just connect with people. And I think you've become a little jaded. And because you've had so many people ask for bids and then they go with somebody else because they're cheaper.
Keep elaborating. Yeah, I'm loving this. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I know, I'm trying to be nice.
No, yeah, just And we had this conversation earlier today where she basically said, you suck at selling.
I didn't say he sucks at selling, but
No.
you just have become very jaded and very abrupt. Like, just get to the point, and if you realize, these people aren't going to go with me, you just kind of cut them off a little bit.
Oh, yesterday, right?
It
Yesterday
was
we had this
yesterday.
example of a client that you've been cultivating in the garden, that you've been taking all this care of this client because we're probably because she wants to build a home. And so you were in her third phone call already.
Yeah.
So you've been talking to her, and they haven't even closed on the lot, and they're trying to make sure that everything fits within their finances, right?
Yeah.
And then she finally wanted to talk to me to get precise costs. So here's a lady trying to understand whether or not she should close on this lot. She has plans. Did she say that the plans are set for her lot? Yeah,
they
right.
are not set for her lot.
Yeah,
She
so-
said that they were, but they're not.
Yeah.
If it's what she sent me already, I don't believe that she's had like architectural drawings done, because they haven't closed on the lot yet. So
Yeah, she has internet plans.
yeah,
So she has internet plans, and she's trying to get a contractor to bid off of that. She's trying to get me or someone to bid the excavation, the concrete framing, to go through all of this, and then marry a number and promise her that that is the number, because she's probably stretching herself financially, and she needs to be sure that this house is not going to go over a certain amount. And I caught that immediately. And remember what I told her?
I don't remember.
I think she was like, yeah, if you could take a look. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, if you could take a look and give me an idea of how much things are going to cost. And I said, if you tell me the general square footage, which was
it's going
approximately...
to be about 1,200 to 1,300 square feet upstairs, and then
No, I
an
think
unfinished-
it was closer to 2,000, because it was similar to the spec home we're building.
down. So they were doing an unfinished basement with 1,200 to 1,300 upstairs.
No, but the topic
So,
is
yeah.
we knew it.
yeah,
Right at the time of the conversation, we
Yeah.
knew it, and I told her this is gonna be anywhere from 400 to 470,000. And after that, she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna send you the plans so you can go over and take a look at it." Meaning, can you get more precise about this? And I was like, "That's it. The only way I can get more precise after this is if you pay me a 10,000 retaining fee that will be applied towards the total cost of the home, so you can show that you're serious about this, and I'm not going to spend the entire week begging all my trades and me to bid on everything, so you can at the end of the week tell us that, oh, it's more than what we can pay for."
yeah.
And you were scared by that.
I was taken aback a little bit, because when I speak with clients, I feel like I'm a little bit more warm and feely, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And where you have become more of I mean, you're still good at sales. You can be, but you're more abrupt and more just like, this is how it is.
Yeah, and I think I'm sure that what I've become has made me lose certain opportunities, but I don't know if those certain opportunities are great. I think that who I have become has helped me to get to the best opportunities soon. The biggest contract that we have ever closed, over $2
That's
million
true.
that we're executing now, it was because I was abrupt.
It's because you and the client are very similar in that way.
Yeah. I basically told him, because the client also wanted to have an idea of things, like what's the process? How are we going to do this? And I told him, this is for sure going to go over $1 million. And for me to know the exact accurate cost of this, I will need to spend so many hours along with my architect, interior designer, and engineer. It will be nearly impossible to give you a ballpark unless you hire those guys. So we sold the architectural drawings first, the interior designing, and the engineering plans, without the guy knowing at all where the numbers are going to land.
Mm-hmm.
Only having a general idea that it will be more than $1 million and less than $3 million.
Yeah. Even still, like, we don't know the final amount. Like, as we continue to move forward in this project, just because of the nature of it.
Yeah. And I know what many people are going to say. Many people tell me this, oh, we're not those Park City rich people.
Yeah.
And I understand it. But that doesn't eliminate the way that things are done correctly. And the way that a big remodel is done correctly is you need to have a general idea that your remodel is going to cost anywhere from $500 to $700, or between $50,000 to $120,000. And then you need to get specifics. You need to get architectural drawings, elevations, dimensions, square footage, linear footage, and all that stuff. And finishings. Gosh, finishings. Holy moly. The amount of people that ask me how much is countertop going to cost is, yes, we have the range. Countertop normally costs, with fabrication, it's safe to say, starting at $55 the square foot, with the cheapest company that I don't even rely on. With the cheapest reliable subcontracting company, countertop quartz will start at around $70 the square foot, fabrication and material. And it can go all the way to $170, depending on the type of material, fabrication, edges, waterfall, complexity, curves, and so many things. And so that's it. Let me get you yawning real quick. And so we are at 17
Sorry.
minutes. No, you don't have to apologize. This is Tiffany Monk Francisco, the executive at Anderson Builders, Utah.
Well, I'm an executive now.
No, you're my assistant. No, I'm just kidding. And I'm the owner, and we did a pretty chill podcast, a pretty long one. So you're probably going to see chops of this on Instagram and through the internet. And you'll see the full episode on our YouTube channel. But this is just a conversation of what is the hardest thing that me as a general contractor, a small general contractor doing remodels, the biggest challenge we face right now. Is there anything that you want to add, babe?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's it. And please leave any suggestions of any other topics we should talk about. We're going to flood the internet with all the knowledge, procedures, and good content that a general contractor builder should be talking about. But that's it for now.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.